I sent Justin a song called That Should Be Me and Up.
That should be
and That should be me holding your hand.
That should be me.
So that style, amazing.
Can I join Magic?
Absolutely. So that style of singing was my style as a singer.
Hey friends, it's your girl Emily Crow. We're here in New York City at iHeartRadio HQ, hanging out with Nasri from Magic. Can we give it up for Nasri? I love it. Can I start by saying that, as a New Yorker, I feel like I always wear a similar color palette. I always have like my black, my jeans, whatever.
Yes.
I love this outfit. It's so fun.
This is what I put in my suitcase, and this is what happened. Thank you. I just went for it. I want it to be funky today because I feel like the music we're about to put out is super funky and fun. It is. It's like just light, and I want the fans to just be their like weird, fun selves.
But see, I feel like this is like you also personally. Like, I feel like this is like a personality trait as well.
Yeah, I'll wear this to a wedding. I think it's about right.
We're here in New York, and you said last time you were in New York was a while ago, right? How does it feel getting back?
I have not been in New York for like 6 years.
Do you like it when you come visit? What do you do?
I didn't like it today because I did not bring a proper hoodie underneath my jacket, but I bought one and I'm gonna put it on. What I do in New York, I just see friends.
Yeah.
I have a friend, I'm gonna go see him today, just really quick before I go to the airport. A lot of my friends moved from New York, so they actually live in LA now. But yeah, I try to see whatever friends are here. I try to do some meetings, sell a couple songs. I'm a songwriter too, so I try to go and see some folks and try to make the best of it.
Yeah.
I walk a lot.
Yeah,
I do
you
like
walk.
to walk.
Yeah, you get the steps in.
Yeah, get the steps in. I need to get one of those watches, Do you have a watch like that?
You know what? I don't
watch?
like a Fitbit or like an Apple Watch, but I need one as well.
Yeah.
It was just my phone.
Yeah, I don't have that on my phone, but I need to monitor my life.
Your steps. Well, you mentioned this, and I think this is so interesting, but you are a songwriter by trade. Is that how you got your start?
Kind of. No, I was more of I started here in New York.
Okay.
So I was in Toronto, that's where I grew up, and I was a singer, dancer. That's about it. I was training every day as a dancer. Then I came here and trained at Broadway Dance Center.
Wow.
For about 3 years.
Did you want to be on Broadway? Was that the dream at the time?
No, it was just like, I want to sing and dance. I saw what Justin Timberlake was doing at the time, what Usher was doing, and I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to sing and dance. I want to do choreo. It's hard to do choreo to the Magic stuff. That's why fans don't see that stuff. It's just the tempo. It doesn't work. We need to work with Timbaland or something. We need some Timbaland beats.
Get a beat in there, exactly.
Yeah, I got an opportunity to write over some tracks in LA. So then I wrote some songs. I wrote like 4 songs in a day. And the producer was like, did you do this in one day? And I was like, yeah, okay, here you go. He's like, you should be a songwriter. I was like, no, that's not my dream. And then nobody would give me a record deal.
Really? And this was when? This
had to be 20 years ago.
Okay, so this is the beginning.
Yeah. I was 4. No, I'm kidding. So I was about 20 and it was like, no one would give me a record deal. It was obviously very frustrating because there wasn't social media at the time. I was literally like knocking on doors, physically knocking. I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't have a computer. It was like just wandering around New York City, hoping somebody would noticed me, and they didn't. So I went to LA and I was staying at a hotel. The producer had put me in a hotel by the airport with his computer, laptop, and a microphone. He said, figure it out. And I was like, all right. And I sat there for 30 days eating the Chinese food. And I was getting really greasy face. I was breaking out. It was a really weird time, very lonely. I was 23, 24 at this point. Somebody had offered me to sleep at their house. I could sleep at their house in the guest room if I wrote for their daughter.
Wow, okay.
And I was like, what is this songwriting thing? People keep offering me things to write for them.
Do you feel like that was the universe sort of pushing you in a direction, not looking back on it?
I do. And I didn't realize it then, but it was like currency.
Yeah.
Right? So then I slept on this 5-foot futon. I'm 6'1", and I started writing every day. From there, it was okay, that time is up, and I slept under a table of this guy, Rob. I still remember you, Rob. And he let me sleep at his place. And I said, well, if I clean every day, can I sleep here for free? And they said, yeah. And that's what I did. I would barter. And so I would clean their whole entire house every single day. And then I would sleep under this giant 12-foot table.
So then for you, what was that first big career moment?
My lawyer, Jamie Roberts, shout out to Jamie Roberts, he had given my demo to Donnie Wahlberg. And the New Kids on the Block had been talking about reuniting. So he heard my pop demo from when I was about 24 at this point, 25, and said, I want all of it.
Wow. Okay.
So he called me, and I grew up a huge New Kids on the Block fan. When I was 7, I was I was like, yeah, this is it. This is what I want to do. I want to be in a boy band.
Yeah.
Now I'm in a man band.
Ooh.
The manliest band. But yeah, so basically Donnie's like, I want to meet you. And Donnie's so charming. I mean, he got those songs out of me in weeks, but he ended up saying like, I'll help you. So I practically lived with him and we made that reunion album. And then my lawyer says, well, now you have to write the single. I said, well, what's the single? He goes, the main song they push. I was like, all right. And he's like, make it catchy. So then that day I wrote Summertime. And I was like, oh, I get it. You want like a really catchy one. And so then I was like learning how to be a songwriter and then got hired to do Michael Bolton.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. These are like legends. And so I play a lot of basketball. I was telling you before.
Right. And your son's a basketball player.
My son's a basketball player. He's nasty. He breaks some ankles. And shout out to Jaden. So I went to play ball like I always did every single day. And Chris Brown was there. And we were playing basketball together. And so we played on the same team. And I was like, listen, man, you're Chris Brown. He's like, yeah. And I was like, can I send you songs? And I sent him a song called Crawl about like 6 months in. And then that was it. Like, Chris Brown was like the hottest young act at that time. And 2 months later, I ran into who is now Justin Bieber, little Justin Bieber, 15-year-old Justin Bieber.
How are you running into? That's crazy that you ran into these people.
I ran into him in a hotel lobby.
And immediately you're like, you're Justin Bieber?
I said, aren't you that kid from YouTube?
Stop.
And then Scooter Braun comes out. And I was like, he's like, who are you? I was like, I'm a songwriter. And he's like, what have you written? I said, I wrote Crawl. He goes, Crawl, that's my favorite song right now. And then I sent Justin a song called That Should Be Me and Up.
That should be
and
me.
That should be me holding your hand.
That should be me.
So that style, amazing.
Can I join Magic?
Absolutely. So that style of singing was my style as a singer. I was an R&B pop singer, essentially. Justin was the first act to really, it's almost like we were given the same voice. We really melded to each other. And so I was writing songs. I wrote As Long As You Love Me and Never Say Never and like all these songs and Pray and, and became like Justin's kind of main writer. And then one day I remember I had gotten a bunch of money and I turned to my now wife and I said like, I love what's happening for us, but it's like, I'm really unhappy. Like I want to sing. Like, it's like, I want to sing and dance and move. And she said, well, you should start a band. And I said, you don't believe in me as a solo act? And I went crazy. And then I had lost my voice completely.
Just from what? Just being
I don't even know. It was gone. Like I couldn't sing anymore. And somebody had sent me to a vocal coach and he goes, oh no, you didn't lose your voice. You have about 5 octaves in there. And I was only ever using about 1.5. I was like always style. That should be me. Always like flowing R&B. I got really good at lyrics. And then all of a sudden I had, stop that, it's the way it, this like part of my voice.
Wait, can you show us all 5? Now I'm curious.
No, that's hard. Some crazy notes. So then somebody said, you sound like Sting now. I was like, Sting? Yeah, that dude's amazing. So I start listening to the Police.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I was like, and I started to use this part of my voice because I had my tonsils taken out and my wisdom tooth taken out. So now I had this other sounds coming through that I never accessed it before or used it. And that was the start of this new voice. And I had basically, without anybody knowing in the world, reinvented myself.
And that was with Magic.
Before Magic came together, I'd already started kind of doing that sound. And then when I met Mark, the guitar player, I said, we should start a band. You're from Toronto, I'm from Toronto. You're a guitar player, singer, I'm a singer. And then he goes, you should meet Alex. And then Ben came, and it was like, there it was. It was just like,
it's just,
serendipitous.
It was magic.
It was magic. It was absolutely magic. So then now we're like, so are we like the new like Police? No doubt. Like, what are we? Right? And none of us had come from reggae. What people think we are is reggae, which we are not. We're a rock band that does reggae, does pop.
Yeah.
But like, we just embraced it. Okay, there's a #1 song. Like, okay, let's just do it.
Talking about Rude, you mean?
Yeah. We were like, why wouldn't we embrace this moment? We don't know why the song is so big. We don't get it. But why try to get it?
Yeah, did you expect it to blow up the way it did?
Of course not. It was like my 10th favorite song on that album.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think it is about the song that people gravitate towards?
I literally still listen to it. I have no idea.
It is so catchy though. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, thank God. I've written about 2,000 songs in my life.
Wow.
I write 200 to 300 songs a year. And so I definitely think it's like my 500th best song to myself as a creative, but we're often wrong about our creativity.
Oh, it's always just interesting to see what other people respond to.
Yeah.
It's a whole different meaning.
Yeah, and you know what? I like the song. I I recorded it, happily recorded it, did it, we did it, just like the rest of the album. The reason why we put out Rude is because it was finished.
And then look at it go.
It was on YouTube for 6 months with 100 views.
Wait, then when did it start?
A guy named Charles Chavez, who had managed Pitbull at the time, I had wrote Feel This Moment for Pitbull with Adam Messenger, Noel Ambrosa, and it was like Christina Aguilera jumped on that song. So then we'd had some success together, and he was introduced by a songwriter that he had signed, a kid named Danny, had said, you got to hear this song, and Charles called me, he goes, who is that? I said, it's me. I'm like, that's my band. He goes, come in. And we came in like 3 days later. He was like, I played him like half of that first album. He was like, what is this? And he wanted to do a deal, and we were like, sure.
Your resume is insane.
Yeah, I'm very lucky.
Is there a song that you wrote that you wish you would have kept for yourself?
There's a song off of Justin's, not last album, the album before, called Changes.
Yeah.
That song, I love that song. It's funny because he loves that song. He said, that's my favorite song off that album. And like that song, anybody could sing that song. I'm going through changes. That could be a reggae song. That could be a rock song.
Yeah.
So whenever a song is like multi-formatted like that and could be a bunch of genres, I'm always like, oh man, that's like a classic. That's a classic. So that's probably the last song where I was like, yo, that one.
I love this one.
But I'm happy he did it because, we collaborated together on it with Pooh Bear, and it was like just an awesome day. But that one is the last one I could think of.
So Magic took a little time off, and now you guys are coming out with a new project.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about the project?
So Magic, people didn't know because maybe people didn't care. But we basically had essentially broken up. Did
you formally announce it, or it was
we
just
didn't even formally announce it to each other?
Oh, you just feel like it just took a break?
We just kind of like stopped working and knew that it was like kind of in ways over, and kind of would touch base, like an ex-girlfriend, like, hey, dating anybody kind of thing.
When you're in their city, you say hi.
Yeah, it's like, hey. Still we were doing a show here and there, just like stuff that we were already like booked. So we'd see each other, be like, yeah, we still know these songs, and we would do it. And then Alex, our drummer, decided to leave the band. He wanted to focus on production and was going through some stuff. And then, we went to dinner, and I said, okay, let's go to dinner. If this dinner goes well, we'll make an album. If it's not going well, guys, I'm done. Yeah. I'm going to be a solo act now and stuff like that. So, which we had all put out solo projects, but just more to put it out. Like, we didn't engage in business.
You were just making music
We were just making music during the pandemic, putting it out. And my EP is kind of fire. So if and the guys put out great stuff too. Like I did like almost like a male Sade thing.
Ooh.
Yeah. So take a listen to it. It's called Here For You. Yeah, it's very smooth.
So you're at dinner. What changed for you?
We agreed.
On what? Everything?
Let me tell you some of the ideas we had. Because it was kind of crazy. So we had ideas for about 2 years, and everything would be shot down. About once a month, there'd be in the group text an idea. So I had an idea called like the Four-Headed Rabbit, like where each guy was singing 3 songs, like just like stuff that like
just to like play around, just to see what was gonna stick.
There was like, well, let's do a full metal thing. Let's do a full out only Latin artists, like reggae fusion thing. Let's do an album with like let's try to get like Gwen Stefani to do an album with us. We didn't even know her at that time. Now I know her. I've worked with her, but like I didn't even know her. I was like, let's try to get Gwen Stefani to make an album with us. Like we were throwing around every idea. And then suddenly we stopped making the ideas about us. And it was like, what can we actually do for people?
Like put out into the world, yeah.
Yeah, so what can we do to just like give people something? And I said, well, the word anthem was the dinner. It was all about like anthems. Like we need a We Will Rock You. We started talking about like these huge bands. And I realized like we had never actually written anything about life. It's flirty or it's love songs, but where's our life songs?
Okay.
I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Like all these songs, like, like Viva La Vida. What is that? Viva La Vida? The Coldplay. Yeah, it's like a life song, right? It's about somebody who had it, was the king, and then now he's sweeping the floors. And it's like, that's about life and struggle. And so that's what we did. We made an album called Inner Love Energy that is about inner perspective, life. It covers everything. And it's like, you can't listen to this album and not feel good.
Do you feel proud of this album? Like I can tell, like it's like...
Yeah, because it was like a real journey to go through something that was, a lot of artists say therapeutic. It wasn't therapeutic to me. It was like, I actually invented something, I believe, with the guys to help other people. Because when you're making music, sure, you're singing a take and then that take's therapeutic, but I had to do 20 of those. Plus I had to edit it. Plus I had, schedule like everybody. Yeah. It's a job, right? Like you have that 3 minutes of feeling it. But then you have to get to work, and no, that doesn't sound right. And mix it and go through that stuff. So to have that through line of inner love stay energized through the whole thing was amazing. We were like, wow, we actually figured out a concept. We started it about a year ago or something like that we still are behind this. Because, think about it. Say you have a thought right now that you want to chop your hair to here.
Oh my God, I'm actually about to cut my hair.
Amazing.
Can you feel that energy from me?
Listen, weekly, my wife asked me if she should do like
but your
a bob.
flow is going, oh, you're not going to cut, she's going to cut her hair. I was going to say, you can't cut yours.
And weekly, she asked me the same question about the same haircut, where she'll cut it like this, people, she wants to just like, because she's had long hair just like yours for a long time. And she never does it, right? It's like me with a tattoo. I just keep talking about them and I draw them and I get like fake ones. And because I deep down don't want one. I just but with this album, it's like something that, it's like a tattoo I wanted. I kept it and I kept going at it and I imprinted it all inside of me and I owned it. There's songs on this album that are just like, can't believe we came up with that. There's a song called Sunflower Fields. It's about to come out. And I didn't even know that the sunflower was the symbol of peace for Ukraine. Didn't even know when we wrote it. And it's like this beautiful, like Beatles-esque acoustic song with these harmonies and this like gorgeous section and these violins. But the first single that we put out was called Ain't Got Nothing Figured Out. That one was the first one we wrote. And it had like 5 different versions till it got to this one. Because we wanted people to like hear Magic again, like with the first song, like you could identify that, oh yeah, that's Magic. That's like that sound that they have. But then after that, the whole album's really different.
Okay, so you tease them with this one. Okay.
Yeah,
and then the rest of them,
we don't want to confuse people. Yeah, it's a lot of, it's like 9 or 10 songs, 9 or 10 genres.
Oh, so it's like a full, okay.
It's like a Stevie Wonder album.
Yeah.
Not as good, because he's the GOAT. But like, if you listen to a Stevie Wonder album, there's nothing that connects any of it, except for just like his amazing songwriting and singing. You know, and it's like, for us, we pride ourselves in being musicians and being really focused songwriters. And with this one, it was great to have this like lyrical through line through the whole thing of inner love perspective. Like there's this one lyric that just says like, oh, that was sour, now it tastes so sweet. Now that I see the world with the bright side of me. It's like, it's like very like, I don't even know where they were coming from. And it was kind of therapeutic because I was feeling good as I was writing. I was like, because it's so easy now to go dark because of how much dark we see, right? And the algorithms send us into the darkness. It's like, go watch a horror movie and watch how much horror shows up on your feed.
You know what? That's interesting. I was just watching this TikTok of someone talking about this in your own personal life. Like, how much do you filter that out, the positive and the negative? Or like, how much of that do you consume?
I would say that I am pretty good at it because I am really simple. I like watching the NBA. I like listening to music. I like hanging out with my kids. I do have some mental health issues. Mine is more balancing ADHD. As you can maybe see in the interview, my eyes wander. It's not my fault. You're wonderful. It's just, I can't control it.
Yeah.
My attention is like always so scattered. And so if you listen to the music, you'll hear like, oh man, believe me, like, I don't even know how I wrote half of it. It's like just this random energy.
Just like,
The dark thing, like, I would say like, if you look at your feed, you'll know whether you've gone dark. Mine definitely hasn't. Mine is like, it's all a bunch of guitar players and a bunch of people singing covers of songs and basketball. I don't know, just random holistic stuff. Like, it's pretty goofy. Yeah, it's pretty goofy. It's like, it's a pretty goofy feed. And now there's a bunch of dad stuff that I'm noticing, where it's like dad jokes and all that stuff. And I'm not that dad, man. I don't got a dad bod. I work out.
You said you like comedy. Do you like dad jokes? Is that a?
I like any jokes.
Just any.
I have to, man. I have to watch a comedy. I can't. I do enjoy like really dark, crazy movies, but like
you need the levity.
Yeah, I need it. I need to like laugh. And obviously, it's harder to make people laugh now because we were laughing for years at people's expenses, which I guess our generation didn't mind as much. Like we could kind of take the kind of like offensive humor, but we're seeing kind of like it's not good for everybody. I think they're figuring out now how to make people laugh through the new lens.
Yeah.
And hopefully movies will get funnier again.
Yeah.
Right? They're not that funny right now. Like they got to work on it and figure out how to make people laugh, I think, situationally.
Yeah.
Like, look at Seinfeld. There was kind of a lot of crazy stuff in there, but like Jerry Seinfeld could tell a joke about a couch and he'll make you laugh.
I've never actually watched Seinfeld, but I should.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I think that's the one thing that's missing now because we go through the transition, but now we have to figure out how to be creative in that transition and now how to like make people laugh without being offensive. And I think it's absolutely possible.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to figure it out because there's just not that many funny movies.
Yeah.
You don't go, oh, I laughed so hard. Like, you don't. Like, I think the humor is like in the Avengers movies now. Like, if you want to watch a funny movie, you have to watch Ant-Man. Like, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because he's a comedian. The lead guy was in the comedies that I used to watch.
So funny.
Now they're superheroes. So it's like, it's kind of funny. It's like we're going through an interesting time. But for us, we want to be a part musically as the band that gives you great music and makes you think, makes you dance. And then when you come to the show, we actually could do it. And we could play it and sing it.
And do the whole thing.
We could do the whole thing.
Okay, so I was going to ask you, so do you have the album release date yet? And
May 12th.
May 12th.
Yes.
Okay, that's exciting. And are you going on tour this summer? Are you playing some shows?
We are doing a bunch of fairs, festivals, like a warm-up year.
Okay, love it.
Because, we want to play it first. Like, go out there, start playing the songs, put it in our system. And then next year, we'll be on a proper Inner Love Energy tour.
Yes.
Yeah, usually a year later, you kind of tour the music. So it's like, but this year we said to we basically told our agent 20 shows.
So that you're like,
because we want to focus on continuing to promote the music. And when you tour and you do shows, it's just so people know one show. So say I go in and do a show. This is just for fun facts, right? If I have a show and it's on Monday, well, actually that show for me is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I have to prep, then I have to fly the next day, then I have to go to the show, then I have to fly back and decompress.
No, it's actually so much work. It's honestly baffling to me how artists do it.
And it's thousands of dollars, moving us all there, getting us back, and so many details with so many people. Our managers do a wonderful job, but it's like, that's what touring is. It's a whole nother business attached to this business. And for us, we want to make sure the fans really digest this new music before we tour.
Before you out.
Yeah, because we don't want to be like, oh, we're here. They're like, well, it just came out. We don't know all of these songs yet. And music takes a while now to sink into everybody. Because we hear these little TikTok snippets. It's like, baby, come down. And it's like, I don't know anything else in that song. I just know that one part. And I love it. That's just fire. Sorry, I swore. I actually love those like African, like Afrobeat joints. Like, I love those. We started one like that for this album. I think it's going to make it. It's kind of fire.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's called Self-Love. It's a vibe.
Okay, we can't wait. Well, I'm so excited to hear the entire album. Truly, we're so glad to have you guys back. So nice to have you in the office. Thank you for being here. Can we give it up one more time for Nasri of Magic in the office with us?
Thank you, Emily. Thank you guys.
Again
really
for joining us.
it.
This is so fun.
Thank you.
And of course, thank you all for watching. Make sure you stream all of Magic's music on iHeartRadio, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Later.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here. And don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here. And if you're already a longtime fan, make sure you ring the bell down below so you don't miss a single video. Bye guys.